Hello, good evening, and welcome to Strong and Sassy on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, today we're excited to continue our Celebrating Impactful Women series, where we shine the spotlight on extraordinary women making a difference in their communities. I'm Noella Kharyne Yalley, and today we're putting our spotlight on the incredible Gloria Lardi Adakurugu, widely known as the celebrity teacher. And if you're wondering who she is and why we're celebrating her as well, Gloria is the founder of the GLA Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to providing educational opportunities to, marginalized individuals and empowering them to become catalysts for positive change. Now, with her extensive teaching experience, passion for advocacy, and her unwavering commitment to empowering the less privileged, Gloria's story is undoubtedly inspiring. So let's dive into our conversation and learn more about her remarkable journey and the impact she's making in the lives of so many people. But before we get into the conversation, she has a favorite artist. I mean, one of the biggest artists in the country is her favorite. And here is her favorite song of that particular artist. So that is Ayo by Shatawale, one of our biggest exploits, or I should say exports, I should say. And that's Gloria's favorite song by Shatawale. I understand Shatawale is also her favorite artist. And for those of you who are joining us via Facebook, I'm sure you can see while we're playing the song, she was, singing along and, doing all the mannerisms and all. Miss Gloria, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. It's so great to have you. We're so honored to be speaking with you. And it's going to be a night where we celebrate you because I think you've done phenomenal with, your career, your life, sacrificing or putting yourself there to serve people. It's a remarkable thing you're doing. And we're hoping that the other young ladies or young men, who would listen would follow suit and do great things for society. But before we continue, let me commend you on your bright yellow attire. You're making me look very dull. Even though you're speaking
Thank
to
you
us
so
by
much.
Zoom, you're looking very bright. And so once
Thank
again, you're
you.
welcome. So your favorite artist is Shatawale. What about Shatawale do you
Yes.
love so much?
In fact, everything about him, I love everything about him. Yeah.
Mm. I mean, what part of his life can you relate to, or do you tap into?
I think he's also a philanthropist. He's always there for his boys, as people, the people that follow him. He always tries to pull people along to also help them reach to the top.
Mm.
So that's one thing I love about him.
I see. I see. Awesome stuff. So you won big at the JoyNews Impact Makers Awards. You want to tell us what you won and what category?
Okay, so I won the education category.
Mm,
That's what I'm into. Yes.
I see. And were you excited? I mean, how was the whole experience like?
Well, it was humbling. I was super excited.
Mm,
I think the day I had a call from multimedia that you are part of the 10 finalists,
right.
I couldn't hide my joy. I was so happy. And thanks to multimedia and Joy News in particular for
Awesome.
honoring me. Yes.
Awesome. Well, we're so proud of you. and what you've been able to do. But I took a look at your profile, and I must say you have quite a rich profile. Uh, when you take a look back at your life and what you've been able to do you feel proud of yourself? Or how's the feeling like?
Yes, I would say it's fulfilling. This whole thing impacting life, helping the needy started like a joke. I felt it was a normal thing that I was doing. I didn't know I was really helping people. Yes, so if I cast my mind back 2011 and now 2024, I would say it's fulfilling. I'm so super proud of myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about your, amazing exploits in the area of education and our society. But I want us to get to know, the woman you were before what you have become today, right? I want us to get to know, delicious or curvy delicious. I understand that's your nickname, right? Back in senior high school. You want to give us a little background to that story? How were you called or nicknamed Curvy Delicious?
If I remember, I think it was Lydia Forsen. Also, it's one person I love so much, and she was using the name Delicious. So I took that name from her, and looking at my figure, I decided to add the Kevy to the Delicious.
Right.
So that was how come I got the name Kevy Delicious. Yes.
I see. That's quite a nickname. But anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, if I should tell you to tell us about you in a nutshell, how would you describe yourself?
What should I say? Well, I want to streamline it to my educational background. Growing up, I was one person, I didn't like school at all. And I think it was because of my figure. When I go to school, I have, how students bully people by body shaming them. So anytime I go to school, I don't feel comfortable at all. It was, look at her, you are shapeless, you are this, you are that. So when it's Monday, in fact, I'm not a happy child going to school. So it was by the help of a friend who started motivating me, putting some kind of confidence in me. Gloria, you have a perfect body. You don't mind what people are saying. Where's this? You look good in that, blah, blah. And I am here today. So I would say I'm one person who has built my confidence level looking back. And I try to also advocate for people with my body size. So that's what I would say.
Okay. And what school did you attend? I mean, let's take a look at your primary, your senior high school, and eventually university.
Okay. So I started my early childhood at Echan Nursery School in Koforidua, Old Estate. Then from there, I moved to Pentecost Preparatory School, but I couldn't complete there. Then I moved to Nana Kwaku Boateng Experimental, where I did my basic education. Then senior high school, I went to Marimamba Koforidua Secondary Technical School.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Then from there to Mount Mary College of Education, where I gained my diploma in basic education to become a teacher, and the passion for helping people started. So when I started teaching during that time, and I started my degree at Valley View University, where I had my first degree. Then about 4 years ago, I completed my master's at University of Ghana, Legon. Yes. So,
but of all the schools that you could choose, why KSTS? I mean, a school now widely known as a boys' school. I mean, was there anything in particular as to why you chose that school?
Well, it's still a mixed school, though it's not fully a boys' school anymore. It's still a mixed school, but I think it was my parents' choice. They wanted me to school in Koforidua. They didn't want me to go outside.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And speaking of your parents, what kind of home did you grow up in?
Well-disciplined home, but I was a stubborn child, very stubborn. I gave my parents a tough time. Very, very stubborn. So the day I took the award, I dedicated the award to them because they've done so well when it comes to my educational ladder. Mr. and Mrs. Adakurugu, if you are listening to me, God bless you.
And what did you read? What did you read in KSTS?
General arts. I did
Okay.
geography, economics, CRS, and government. Yeah.
And what was your favorite subject?
CRS.
Oh, okay. Anything in particular? Any reason why CRS?
I think it helped me to understand the Bible very well. You know, CRS was mainly focused on the Bible, Christian religious studies.
Right.
It really helped me to know the Bible very well.
Okay. So at what point in your teenage life did you discover that you had a passion for, education or for helping, individuals from marginalized communities?
I think when I was posted to go do my teaching practice, you know, when you go to the training college back then, you do in out, meaning you spend 2 years in the training college, then your final year you go out and practice what you've been taught in school. So when I went to the field, that was when it started, because I also come from in a similar home where getting basic educational materials wasn't that easy. It was so difficult. So I really understood what the kids were going through. So I think in 2011, that was when I realized I have to step in and help these kids.
Right. And you mentioned earlier about how you didn't really like, school. For someone who, hated schooling, for you to be able to build a career in education as you have done, how did you turn that around?
I always refer to my training college days as my Damascus, if I want to refer to my CRS studies.
Right.
When Paul met the angel, so I would say the training college was my Damascus then. It really shaped me. Thanks to my tutors I met there, they realized I was too stubborn, but they didn't just neglected me like that. They tried their possible best to shape me into who I am today. And in fact, I'm super grateful to them. They really helped me, and my parents. I would always say my parents. Yeah.
So and I'm sure that at the teaching college, you must have also met some individuals who probably also inspired that passion in you. Would you want to mention any, buddy or any individual or any story that really turned your life around?
Well, the passion actually didn't start when I was in the training college. It started when I moved out to do my teaching practice.
Okay.
So when I got to the field, I normally see some of the teachers, not all, sacking students from class. You don't have a pen. Why are you here? As a student, if you come to class, you should make sure you have a pen. It's just like a farmer going to farm without a cutlass. So you see some of the students loitering about, going around. If you ask them, say has sacked me from class, why I don't have a pen. So the next day when I'm coming to school, I make sure I have enough pen in my bag. So if I encounter such issues, I just give the pen out.
Okay.
So yes, that was how it all started.
Okay. And how did you develop on that? We want to get to know how you developed on, just that little gestures.
Okay, so when I was leaving, I think after 1 year, you go back, write your exam. So when I was leaving, the kids were so sad. They're like, Madam, who is going to help us with this? Who is going to do this? Who is going to do that for us? So I organized a very big party for them, like a get-together party, then distributed some educational items to them also. Then I went to my first station. That was in 2012 at Oyoko Presby School. Yes, that was my first station. So when I got there to the same problems, then it started from there. Paying printing fee, going into children's home when they don't come to school. You find out my mom says she doesn't have money to give me to come to school. So it started from there, bit by bit. I was teaching class 5 then. So I taught for 2 years at Oyeko. Then I was transferred to Bunya, King of Glory KG. That was when the mega passion for all these things really started, because I was posted to the KG department. When you go to the training college, you have to do early childhood to be able to teach in the lower class, or you do the general where you can be posted whether to the KG or any of the levels. I did general, so I was posted to KG, Abonya, KG1. Then for those areas, the kids don't start crèche. They come to school at 4 with zero educational background. So when they come, you have to teach them how to write, how to draw, how to scribble and everything. That was when the passion for teaching started.
Right. And I mean, with all the things that you have mentioned that in your initial stages you did for these kids, I'm sure it was expensive. I mean, how was a young teacher at the time, you had just started your career, how were you funding yourself?
It was with my salary, I would say. That time, even when I passed that, I was still receiving allowance. It wasn't a salary. There was small allowance that I was receiving. And these allowance were the ones I was using to support the kids.
Yes. Right. And they were, I mean, that's really touching, if you ask me. So then the GLA Foundation, how did you now decide to go big, with that foundation?
Okay. So when I taught in the KG department for 5 years. After 5 years, I was transferred again to a senior high school, Koforidua Technical Institute. That was a purely technical school. When I was leaving, same thing, the kids were sad. I always step in as their mom, and now you are leaving us. Who is going to do all these things for us? So when I went to the senior high school, I decided to call people on board to come and help. So I wrote on Facebook that this is what I have in the pipeline to do for my former students. I wish people will come on board to also support me. Then, lo and behold, I thought was something that I was just joking around with. And I had a lot of Facebook friends coming in to support, donating, and I raised some amount of money. So that was the biggest donation I did back then. That was 2021. So after doing the donation, posted the pictures on social media. The next day, I realized people were tagging me on almost all bloggers on social media. Started trending, like, see a teacher who has used her salary to support people. So that was when GLA Foundation became very big, and seeing us today receiving awards. So 2021, that was where it all started, and I had people coming on board to fund the project I've been doing.
And in all of this, I'm sure it hasn't been a smooth ride throughout. I mean, you've talked about how you've gotten support from individuals, which is a good thing. But how about the down moments as well? Do you have any, story to share of any instance where you probably thought of, okay, maybe this is too big of a project for me?
In fact, if I want to start, I'm not going to finish now. A lot of
share at least two of them with us.
Okay, so I went to do a donation in one school up north. That's where I come from, Binduri. When I got there, I realized the KG to class 3, they all sit on the floor. That was just last year, 2023. I was shocked. I thought, we are 21st century. Why should kids come to school and they have to sit on the floor? That day, I wasn't happy. That was my worst moment, because mostly when I go out to impact or do a donation, I come home very fulfilled and happy. I realized the things I sent to them was not, though they need them, But at that moment, it was furniture that they were looking for, not the stationaries, not the uniform, even though they were not in good uniforms and shoes and sanitary bags. I wasn't happy. So I came back, wrote on social media the Binjuri projects. Can I have people on board coming to help so that we can at least donate furniture to these people? And 2024, that's February, I was privileged to have a sponsor come on board from Facebook, Mr. Michael Mensah. If you are watching me, God bless you so much. He sponsored the whole project. We transported this furniture from Accra to Binjuri. And if you see the smiles on these kids' faces, I think for the past 13 years, I've started this donation or impacting life. This is one major project I will never forget. It's one of the biggest projects GLA Foundation has done.
So in times where, you probably call for support, ask people to donate and they don't, I mean, what's your plan B? What do you normally do?
I come in. I go back to how I started. I come in. Yes, that's what I normally do. So it hasn't been easy at all. Even the problems, I didn't talk about the spiritual attacks we have. It's because I've projected the education sector. I have other things that I do. Support cancer patients, support kidney patients. They are patients of the students' parents. So sometimes there's a problem at home, so it affects the kids. So I have to also step in, renewing health insurance for kids and even for parents, giving startup capitals for them. You have spiritual attacks, but in all, we say God is our protector. It hasn't been easy. So if I seek for funds or support from people and I don't get it, definitely I fall on my salary to do that.
You mentioned spiritual attacks. What exactly do you mean by that? What kind of spiritual attacks have you had since you started this project?
I have one. I don't want to dwell into this story in particular for people to see that I'm referring to this particular incident, because normally I post all the projects I do on social media. But to cut a long story short, I realized I have several warnings in my dreams that stay away from this child. You are not the one to support her. Stay away. It was continuous. It wasn't easy. At a point, I realized, should I stop this thing? After I don't know this child anywhere, I went to her school to do a donation and I met her. So why would I bother myself? Then another voice will tell me, I called you to do this job. You have to step in. You have to help this child. The journey hasn't been easy. I am still working on that project. And I know at the end, God will win this case. So
but has there been any extreme case where you feel like something is happening to you that you really do not understand, and
plenty,
how do you protect yourself spiritually, since you're very spiritual?
Prayers. And my mom, she has really been of help. I remember one time, this same story I'm talking about, I felt I had some spirits living in my room. You sleep and you hear people talking. It wasn't easy. So I told my mom she has to come to my house, stay there. We have to do some midnight prayers, and it's not easy. But I'm still on that case. I have close friends or people telling me, Gloria, why are you worrying yourself? Leave this child alone. Let her be. If you have this attack and people are attacking you because you want to help, why don't you stop it? I'm like, if I stop it, who is coming to help this child? This child really needs my help. So we are still managing. It's not easy, but
I also understand that you decide to be be a surrogate mother to kids who probably have lost their parents or their mothers. You want to tell us more about that as well? What informed your decision to be a mother to the motherless, or a parent to kids that do not have parents?
They need the love. If If a child grows up without love, you know the outcome. The social vices, the negative ones, they become armed robbers and a whole lot of stuff. So I feel like there should be somebody to support. Somebody should step in. Somebody should help these kids. So that is why I normally do that. And I have people asking me, do you have a child? I don't. So why then do you have love for kids? I even get negative comments. Oh dear, in chi, oh dear, compare will be in one now, sorry, Anna. In Crofwamba now, there, what tomato also. I get all these negative comments, but I don't let these things shake me. Not at all.
And I mean, these kids in question, how do you meet them? I mean, is it through school, or you meet them in the community, or perhaps the streets? How do you come by them?
Both. Whether in school, sometimes I have teachers coming back to me and like, why do you worry yourself? Now we'll salary buy a henna. Where they're all how way. Leave them. Parents, don't serious. I'm like, I'm not looking at the parents. It's the child that I'm supporting. Even if I have to step in to help a parent, why not? I have to do that. So it's the community, teachers, even some friends, people I call friends, I have them coming in with negative comments.
But how would you say, how supportive has maybe your colleague teachers or the people that you work with, perhaps your friends, how supportive have they been?
Very supportive. Close friends, I have a lot of them that make sure anytime I'm going to do a project, they have to donate to support. I don't want to mention them to lose count of them. I have a lot of them. They have been so supportive. Some, even when they don't donate, they take time from their busy schedules to go with me and do the donation. So I have few people around who has been so supportive.
How about the negatives? Have you experienced any situation where maybe the people that you work with turn their backs on you, or probably the colleagues, at work, work against you or something?
Well, I have some few people joining in, and they're like, wait, you've gotten a lot of money. Let's share some. These people, let's buy just some 2 books and distribute to them. Let's go and spend the money. I'm like, these are people's money they've prayed on to do a donation on their behalf. I am only a vessel. I'm only a servant that they've sent me to do this. So people come in with a mindset of enriching themselves. They feel like this NGO thing, you do it to get money or to enrich yourself. Because normally nowadays I see a lot of attacks on social media, people attacking those who are into this NGO and that. Look, you are not in to support people.
Just a money-making venture, huh?
Exactly. But I feel like anytime I'm going to do a project, I have to invest, even though I get funds for people. I invest a lot because the other courses around, I don't even add it. Transportation, having people coming on board, I have to feed them. In Ghana, we don't understand the voluntary work we have to do in NGOs.
Right.
They don't. People don't understand that. Yeah.
I see. So if I should ask you to give me a figure or a number of the people you have impacted, children, teenagers, whatever, can you quantify?
It will be very difficult.
A rough figure.
Over 5,000.
Over 5,000.
Yes, because when I go to a particular school, it's not only some few kids.
Okay.
I make sure before I leave there, every child has benefited from GLA Foundation. So you can imagine visiting a school and having about 500, 700 people in the school, and I've visited over 60, 70 to 100 communities. So yes, I've lost count of the number of people who have really benefited from GLA Foundation.
I see. Well, out of that rough number, 5,000 individuals, we've got 2 individuals out of that 5,000 joining us via the phone lines to celebrate you. As I said earlier, we are basically celebrating the work you have done. in the area of education and our communities, our society as a whole as well. And so we've got Sheila and Irene on the phone. I don't know if those names ring a bell. Does it? Does it ring a bell?
Yes.
It does, huh? Anyway.
They are teachers that their school have benefited from GLA Foundation.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So, Miss Sheila and Irene, if you can hear me, you're welcome. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Right. So, who am I speaking to?
This is Sheila.
Hello?
This is Sheila.
Okay. Miss Sheila, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Right. So, we're celebrating Miss Gloria today. You want to tell us a little bit about how you met Gloria?
Okay. I met Gloria in secondary school. So after secondary school, we all went to the training college, and she was teaching. She was one teaching in KG, but she decided to do all these things, and we applauded her for that. So one day she said she wanted to come to my school. I also teach in a different school. She wants to come to my school and donate to some of the students. So in fact, she asked me to measure some of them. Then the measurement to her looked like she was very serious about it. I was like, she was like, no, I want to help the needy, the poor and the needy, and those who don't have it. She bought shoes, she bought bags, she bought socks, and I was impressed. In fact, when she came, the kids were super, super happy. They didn't even expect it. I told them I am the one going to do it for them, but they didn't know it was a surprise from somebody. So when she came, she drove her car, came, we did a setup, and we called them to come. In fact, all the kids were very, 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 very happy. And that day, I think after that day, some of the parents came. They told us that we should bless that person for them. And subsequently, she has done, in fact, she has done a lot of marvelous job for my school. Aside that one too, she has done lots of great things for my school. That's from MA Davis School in Koforidua.
I see. So, but I mean, away from the philanthropic work she's been able to do for your school, how would you describe Gloria?
Which word should I use? In fact, Gloria is a good person. She's selfless. She's always ready to help. She's my friend. She's stubborn sometimes, but she's always ready to help. She's always ready to listen. Sometimes we do call her Mami Dokno. We will bring up our relationship issues, and she'll be the one solving it for us. She's not married, but she gives good advice. You might think she's that type out there. If you don't know her, you have different perception about her. You might think she's not serious about life, but she's that type. When you bring an issue to her, she will not support you. In fact, when you tell her about your boyfriend or your partner, she will never going to support you. She will rather talk to you in a way that you understand your partner. And when she goes to your partner, she will rather defend you there. She will support you. She will support your partner in front of you and support you in front of your partner. Like, she will not let you know that she supports you. So
right.
She doesn't really want our relationships to break. But meanwhile, she doesn't have a boyfriend. So please, after this show, make sure you get her a boyfriend.
I will try and do that.
Yeah.
But so I mean,
she's a good person.
Right.
She has been of help. Really, really, like, she has been very good to me.
A typical ride or die, right?
Yeah.
I see. But you mentioned that she's stubborn. I mean, how stubborn is she? What do you mean when you say she's stubborn?
I don't even know how to describe this thing. Anyway, she's that type when she decides she doesn't want to change her mind.
Right.
She's very decisive. And when you try to convince her, you work for an over, and that's what you do. Sorry, that's what she will do. She will not change her mind. She means this. That's what she will do. So for you know your mistake, that's it. Okay, then she knows the risks involved. The next time he will not do the same thing. Yeah.
What's your wish for her? What do you? I mean, you've seen how she operates. You've seen the kind of person she is. She's impacted your life and that of your children, your school children, or the kids you teach in school as well. If you look at all of these things she's done, I'm sure you've also noticed maybe something she's lacking, probably in her foundation or in her life. If you had the opportunity to wish for something really, good for her, what would that be?
Okay. Number one, I pray she becomes happy all the time. And number two,
Say that again. Say the first thing you said again.
I pray she becomes happy all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Number two, she wants to do a lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff. That needs money. I pray she gets people that will help her to reach that height, because she has a lot of ambitions. As she speaks right now, she has a lot of things on her table, which she's trying to do. Even she wants to go to the northern region very soon to do some donations. She has been talking about it, and it has been on her neck. She's also very tight at work, and she's not getting the chance to go there. So I pray God grants her all her wishes, and I pray everything works out well for her. And lastly, but that's one of my most greatest wish for her, that she gets a husband soon.
You should see the big smile on Gloria's face. But anyway, Sheila, thank you so much. Let me move to Irene. Hi, Irene.
Okay.
Hi.
Can you speak up a bit, Irene?
Hi.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we're celebrating Gloria. Tell me also how you got to meet her and how she's impacted your life.
Okay. I would like to greet you beautifully. Yeah. So I'm my name Dambai Girls Model Theatre in the Otimisi, precisely Dambai. Yeah. So it was last year when we had a courtesy call from the then minister, that's Makubu Joshua, that will be having a lady who wants to be paid to the girls. My school is only girls. Yes. Yeah, the only girls in the past, the boarding system in them.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can hardly hear you. Maybe the reception around where you're standing, if you can change where you're standing a bit and speak up for me so we really get what you're saying. Is that okay?
Okay. Please, is it okay?
It's awesome. Thank you. So please repeat what you said.
Okay. So I said I met Sister Gloria through our former minister, regional minister. That is Mr. Makubu Joshua. My school is a boarding system, and we are the only girls' school in the municipality. That's the only boarding school. So we were there when the minister called that we'll be having visitors. He had a lady who wants to come and donate to the girls. Actually, the school was established in 2019, and we welcome all the girls from all the villages around. And because this town is a fishing community, the students hardly get some of these things, or the books and sanitary pads and other things. So anytime we have problem, we do call on the assembly to help us. So we're very happy that when the minister said, we'll be having some visitors, a lady wants to come and do donation. We said, wow, a lady? Then, so we were there when they came. So when we saw Sister Gloria, in fact, we said, hey, Madam Oboshi is in, even though we didn't know her from the beginning. So they came, we sat, and then we went to the girls. In fact, that day, students got about 3 sanitary pads or 4. Each person got about the sanitary pad. And it's the major problem of our ladies, these girls, because anytime they are in their menses, they don't get the money to buy.
Irene, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, your line is, fluctuating a bit. So, I don't know, but I think I get the crux of what you're saying about how she visited your school and extended a helping hand to you. What would you like to say to her? We're celebrating her. And like I asked Sheila, what would you want to wish for her? If you had the opportunity to have any of your wishes for her come true, based on how you know her or you've come to know her, what would that wish be?
I wish she does great things more than what she's doing now. Yes. And I know Almighty God will help her. Whatever that she wants to donate to the students. Her desires and give her the strength,
right?
The financial aspects, all those people who are helping. I wish God would touch their hearts, even those who are not even on board now. I wish God would touch their hearts so that they will come and help her, so that she can do more than what she's already doing. Because in fact, that day when she came there, we were very, very, very happy. Because that even week, we had about 5 casualties of students who were not in school just because they were having their menses and they didn't get money
to buy sanitary pad, right?
Yes.
Right.
Because sometimes we, the female teachers, we have to provide for them. So sometimes I'll even chat, hi sis, how are you? When are you coming? Your girls say they miss you. You can ask her. I've been sending her messages that we need more.
Right.
And I know even if people don't come on board to help her, I know if blessings come from the Almighty God, the little salary that she's getting, she will use that money and purchase those items,
right,
so that it can impact more in people's life. And I bet you those kids that she's impacting today, they will remember her in the near future.
Absolutely.
And all of us will also remember her, and the good Lord will also remember her.
Amen.
So I just wish her the best. Anything that she wants to do, she should just tell herself that, yes, I can do it.
Right.
She shouldn't listen to the negative aspect, because I was listening to her conversation. Sometimes she'll get some negative attitude. She shouldn't bother. She should focus on whatever she has set for herself that she will do. And
Irene,
I know the good Lord will also help her.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sure if I should leave you, you'd have a lot of amazing things to say.
Last week, I told her, sis, in fact, what you are doing, I was touched when I watched the awards night that night. I was very happy. When I go to the school the next day, I say, hey, come and see, Sister Gloria had an award last night on TV. I was just proud, just for them, the teachers, to know that, yes. So I told her I want to also start something. And she said, why not, sis? You can start.
Amazing.
You have.
Amazing. Irene, thank you.
I'm willing to learn from her.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud of her.
Thank you so much, Irene.
All the best. All the best.
We're also proud of her. Gloria, I'm sure you've been listening, and this has been an emotional, 5 minutes for you.
Crying.
I mean, how do you feel listening to your colleagues, people you have impacted, say all these things to you?
It's humbling.
It's humbling, huh?
It's humbling.
And you go around helping a lot of people, impacting people and all. How about you? In your down moment or in your times of need, who do you go to? Who do you run to?
I have some few friends. Sheila is one. Then Tilly, I'm sure she's watching live on Facebook. Matilda, these 2 people, they are my go-to person. Or sometimes I cry in my room, pick my pieces up, and off I go.
What are some of the things that really gets you emotional? I mean, aside the work you do, the advocacy, the NGO, personally, what are some of the things that really bothers you?
These are personal stuff. I don't want to talk about it on air.
Right.
But, yeah.
That's okay. So we've got one more surprise for you. But before we bring that in, we've activated the phone lines for our dear listeners. If you have any question to ask, Gloria, or you have any words of encouragement for her. Would love to hear from you. The number to call is 030-221-6541. That's 030-221-6541 or 055-111-1997. That's 055-111-1997. Would love to hear from you. If you have any questions as well, you can ask her. Gloria, what's the vision for the GLA Foundation? What do you hope to, or where do you hope to take the foundation?
So build a very big orphanage home, cater for street kids. We want to take all the kids from the streets. They should be in the classroom.
Right.
So GLA Foundation is planning to have a very big orphanage home, not only in Florida or Eastern region, almost every region in Ghana. We should have a place to call a home for these kids.
And I mean, have you attempted to partner or collaborate with any government institution to help, achieve that dream? Or any private entity? Do you hope to do that in the future?
Yes, I hope to do that. Not yet. It's in the pipeline. We are drawing the plans and putting everything in order.
Okay. So earlier in our interview, you spoke so highly of your mom. And so we thought it wise to, have her on the phone lines to speak to her and also get to know what she makes of what you've been doing. So, Auntie Gloria Mame Pacho, good evening.
Good evening, sister.
Pacho to say.
You are doing namose.
Yeah, ho yeah, yeah. That's to say, your friend, what your opinion na oni and kasa. Na and you way, yeah, celebrating a year or doba Gloria. Why ain't your MP or yeah, your ma papa baby, or a year a chrome has say. And you're finding the necessary say, you bet celebrating no. Into what aroma. Wow, doba. And I ain't say, na day na. Ube pese ube kanfa oba no ho.
Me bani de nani jim kwala ko square na hano. Enti no start here kakra. Enti nkola ni bin kusto no akobisa na asiwa kusto no wahin na kola na pinisu odi omoko upon squatter de auto books auto pens the baby okoni da books bebre pencils uniform different enye kofura anko konof munyina enti ni bani de opasumjema inyina awo my Ghana.
Now wakakoye ni mami ufyese na obabo ne homodin then pass na da wakoma so as mami to say o bepe say ebia yakopon ye ma oba na wonso no ebe ma weni age pa.
Ni mpesa yakopon ombo na uba na finso onwale ye. No mo. I want to hope that is only no money. Puna nakuma ete.
Matse.
Yeah, no ma omoko someone tafo.
Amen. Mommy, that's it, baby. Obado, wastrisa. I'm sure say woman in yaje. Gloria, let me come to you. So 3 individuals have mentioned something which is of importance. I mean, we're wrapping up, but this single Pringle thing, we have to fix it. What is happening? Is it that we're not getting the men, or we want a specific kind of man? Because I have to make this my project. Because it looks like you're busy with the kids, so I will take this up myself personally and look for a suitable husband for you. So please give me your specifications.
Hey, any generous person, you know that kind of job I do. I have to get somebody who understands me so well.
Right.
So, generous person, yeah.
So, but in terms of physique, do you want a tall man, a short man? What are we looking at?
I don't have particular physique. The main thing I look out for is someone who is generous.
Okay, I see. So we've got about 2 minutes to go, but your dad is also on the phone lines. Let's quickly hear something shot from him so we can wrap up. Hello, Dad. Okay, so I understand he is off the phone lines. But Gloria, I mean, this has been an amazing, amazing, amazing conversation with you. I'm hoping we could have extended this so we talk more, especially about your personal life, because it looks like you're lacking there, and we need to fix that. But what would be your parting words?
Everybody should be a philanthropist. That is one project I want to do 2025. Everybody should be. The job is so huge, we can't do it all. In your small way as a teacher, don't wait to get funds. Don't wait to get a lot of money. Don't wait to be a billionaire before you can extend your hands.
Right.
In GLA Foundation, our motto is hands of hope. We always stretch our hands to give hope to the hopeless. So everybody should be a philanthropist.
Everybody should be a philanthropist. Those are some really, really great words by you. Thank you so much, Gloria, for sparing us your 1 hour. It's been an insightful conversation. I've enjoyed it, and I want to say more grease to your elbows. You're doing amazing. Keep doing amazing. As for the personal things, Nadia, we'll talk about it backstage. But listeners, this has been our conversation for today on Strong and Sassy. Unfortunately, we have to say bye-bye and make way for the news at 8 o'clock. But thank you so much for your listenership, and keep listening to Joy 99.7 FM. I'm Noella Kharyne Yalley.